2022 Toyota Tundra Easter eggs, and when can you expect to see one? Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive FST. And that's right, there are some Easter eggs. Toyota is getting a little bit creative on the new Toyota Tundra. These were pointed out to me recently when I went to actually see and drive the new Toyota Tundra. There'll be links down below if you want to check it out if you haven't seen it already. So I was surprised and a little excited when I was told there were some Easter eggs on the new Toyota Tundra. Also, I've been doing a little research because there have been a lot of questions out there as to when these trucks are going to be distributed across the country. You know, people are eager, and we down here in Texas were the first ones to get them. The first Toyota Tundras started showing up at the dealerships, I believe it was last Friday, when the first one in my area was actually unloaded from the truck. So anyway, we're going to start with when can you actually see one? When can you actually go to the dealership, go for a test drive, hopefully if they'll let you test drive it, and actually put your hands on it? Well, I was told that Toyota is producing right around 200 new Toyota Tundras per day. Now, how many dealerships are there? Well, in my quick little research, and I could be off a little bit, but across the country, the US, there are 1,200 licensed Toyota and Lexus dealerships. Now, I'm assuming that the Lexus dealerships and the Toyota dealerships would both have access to the new Tundra. So, let's assume that that is true. So, at 200 per day, assuming that each dealership, pick a number, is going to get 3. I chose a low number. So if each dealership is going to get 3, given that they're building 200 a day, it should be about 18 days or so, a little more than half a month, before the new Toyota Tundra is distributed across the country. Now, of course, it's going to vary a little bit because if you live in an area that is bigger, like a larger city, they're probably going to get them sooner, and they may even get greater numbers. Obviously, Toyota is trying to sell these, so they're going to put the most out that they can in the areas where they're actually going to sell. So somewhere, most likely, in the 18-day range. Let's push it a little further and say within 30 days, there should be a new 2022 Toyota Tundra at a dealership near you. You might have to drive a little bit, but you should be able to put your hands on one and actually see it. So let's talk about the Easter eggs. You know, I was really surprised when I went in and Roger, my salesman over at Burt Ogden, told me that there are Easter eggs in this truck. And I had actually noticed one already myself in nosing around under the hood. And there are others, by the way, than what I'm going to mention, but these were the 2 that I noticed first off, or one, and then he told me about the other one. So the first one is the picture, or a picture of Michigan. I believe it's the state, the whole state, the Upper Peninsula, the state itself, you know, looks like a thumb, something like that, or a hand with a thumb, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. That is on the little support area, I guess, right in the front of the truck, kind of embossed or stamped, however they did it, in the plastic. Now, within the state itself, it says R&D, which is research and development. That's because that's where the research and development was done for the new Toyota Tundra. So they kind of paid homage to Michigan, I guess, by stamping that in or putting that in the front of the truck. Pretty cool. But even better, there is a second one on the other side. I believe it's on the driver's side. I think the Michigan one, if I remember, was on the passenger side. But in the same position, on the other side, on the driver's side, there is the state of Texas. Now, within the state, it says born. Well, you can probably figure out what that means, right? It's because the Tundra is being built in San Antonio, Texas. That's why we have Bourne right in the center of the state. Now, there are other Easter eggs, I've been told, hidden throughout the truck. So it'll be something kind of fun, I guess, to nose around and look for if you go to look at one or you actually buy one yourself. Now, additionally, I was told that on the screen, I believe it's on the screen of the radio, or it could be in the dash, you know, in the gauge cluster, there are going to be pictures or some sort of tribute or mention, if you will, to several state parks or off-road parks. I guess they're state road or state national parks. I think there are 7 of them, if I'm not mistaken, that will show up in some form. I didn't see it myself because, unfortunately, by the time I found out about it, the whole experience, the test ride and all that stuff was over, so I didn't really know to look for it, I guess. But just something to look for if you're going to look at one, or maybe you've bought one yourself already. I know there are a few people around. Some of the bigger YouTube channels, of course, have them, and then some private individuals have managed to put their hands on them already. I mean, heck, I could have bought the off-road lunar rock that I looked at if I'd have wanted to, so I know people are getting them. Just some kind of cool stuff. I know, you know, Jeep does that with the Gladiator and with the Wrangler. It's pretty neat. Doesn't serve any purpose, of course, but it adds a little bit to the mystique of the vehicle, and I think it's pretty cool. So as far as pricing goes, I've had some questions about that as well. You know, the truck that I went and looked at, it was $65,000. What? And that's for an SR5 TRD off-road. It was kind of a lower base trim line, if you will, of the TRD off-road. I mean, it didn't have a lot of extras or anything on it. It was 4-wheel drive, but that's about it. Now, the markup on that truck, if I recall, was somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000. I forget what the actual sticker price was, but still a $10,000 to $15,000 markup on the price of the truck, just for the benefit of being able to say you're one of the first owners, I guess. Nah, not for me, and I wouldn't pay that anyway. I've mentioned before, I did pay a premium once on a car. It was a Honda Civic Type R. It was $5,000, and then I kicked myself after I did it. I'll never do that again. There's no reason to do it. Those premiums will drop as soon as the trucks propagate across the country, so you're not going to have to spend that extra money to get the truck. I would just wait. There's no way I would do that. I am curious. I'm not sure if the one that I looked at has sold or not yet. I had heard that it did, but I'm not positive about that, so we shall see. Anyway, I just wanted to get on. I thought it was pretty interesting about the little Tundra Easter eggs that they've included with the truck, and also to kind of give a guesstimate as to when they're actually going to be across the country and you can see them. They are headed north now. Leave a comment. Let me know if you live north of Texas. Where have you seen them? Are they showing up at your dealerships? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2021 Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.